Hello and welcome back. This is it, the day I've been waiting for 6 months on and off, arrives tomorrow. I'm en route to the DGR in Tamworth, so I'm breaking up the journey. Today I'm driving 2 hours north to stay overnight at a friend's who lives about 45 minutes away from East Birmingham Triumph. That is where my Bonneville is going to be unveiled tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I've got to drive up in the Fiat because I have, and I'll show you what I've got a whole load of stuff, and also I think I'm going to have to pick up some stuff from Joe, all of the old bits and pieces from the Bonneville, chuck them in the boot and then decide if I actually want them. I'll take you along with me on this weekend. I'm not sure how much I'll actually film of the DGR tomorrow. It just depends how much riding it is and how busy it ends up being, but I'll try and do as much coverage as I possibly can, and at the end of the video, assuming all goes well, I will be riding the Bonneville back from Tamworth. It's got to be a good 2 or 3 hours south, back home. The first ride on the Bonneville will be tomorrow. Can't wait. I'll show you how full the car is. I mean, this is ridiculous just for one night. So I've got 3 helmets tucked away here. This is one for a friend of mine who needs an open face, and I've got a full face helmet there and an open face for me for the actual DGR. I've then got all of my DGR clothes in here somewhere. I've got some bedding in there because my friend won't have enough bedding. I've also got my proper riding gear to do the big 2 to 3 hour motorway slog to actually get home, and I've also got a pannier there, just with a few bits and pieces that I can take along with me on the ride back on the Bonneville. Oh, and I've cleaned the car. Showroom fresh. You may also be wondering, how am I going to get the Bonneville back from Tamworth when I'm driving solo in the car and there's no trailer? You may remember, a few of you, we did used to own a trailer and we took it towing the Bonneville to the likes of Tenerife and other places, but I sold the trailer a few months ago because I honestly thought it was on its last legs and it was probably borderline dangerous, and even for me I would class it as a bit irresponsible to be taking that with a heavy motorbike across continents. So I decided to sell it, I think for about £30. Someone couldn't believe their luck how cheaply they bought it. But all that means that we don't have a trailer, I don't have a trailer. So I'm going to have to drive up, leave the car overnight, ride the Bonneville back, and then get the train all the way up to Birmingham. I'm sure that's going to take about 2.5 hours on Monday morning, and then drive the Fiat back the 3 hours again on Monday. So Monday is going to be a full day travel. It's the only way I could think that would work. Monica's at home with an ear infection. She's been on antibiotics all week, and I need the car to be able to take all of the spare bits for the Bonneville back, so I've got no choice. It's going to be a good 3 days of fairly solid travel, but all worth it for the end result. For one, to do the DGR, to see what the DGR is like this year, because it's always a brilliant event, and also, of course, to get the Bonneville back. So well worth it, but that is 3 fairly big days travel. I've come upstairs to show Sutton Motorcycles because that's the Triumph and Honda dealership that have been kind enough to host the start of the Tamworth DGR, and they've opened 2 hours early so we can have the Bonneville Unveiling downstairs. So I want to do a quick little tour of Sutton Motorcycles because if you're in the area, highly recommend it as a very nice motorcycle dealership that has in the past year, maybe past 14 months, been completely redone. So what you've got upstairs, Honda, and I can see a couple of Triumphs in the corner. And they've been going since 1980 as a dealership. Have a look at some of these. Fireblades lined up there. A few more Bonnevilles in the corner. I'll flip the camera, go downstairs, quickly show you how everything's looking outside, and then I think we're probably going to hit the road in the next 40 minutes or so. So Sutton Motorcycles East upstairs here, and the Triumph Birmingham East is downstairs. So the Triumph section is downstairs, but I've just been told there's a really good view from up here at the top, and you can see everyone here getting ready for the DGR. What a brilliant turnout. Just an amazing turnout with people pulling in all the time. You know, these DGRs are incredible in the selection of bikes, everything from huge amounts of Triumphs, Harley Davidsons, BMWs, even GSs are here, Royal Enfields, classic old 350 over there. I'll come back round this way. So, coming past the top floor of Hondas, and I'll quickly show you what it's like downstairs. I love that Honda Cub, all of the little retro stuff, Monkey Bike Dax, all looking amazing. And then coming downstairs, which is where Triumph Birmingham East, got it, is. And I'll see if I can give you a very quick tour of this. Have a look at some of these. You've got the Honda Deauville out there, a Laverda, classic 350 and a massive BMW.
Two rocket TFCs as well.
And
the door's locked.
okay, well, hopefully you can just see it. 2 Rocket Triumph Factory Customs in the corner there, which looks incredible. And then this is the Triumph section of the dealership. You can see the work service centre over there. And all of the Triumphs in here. Hello, how are you?
Far away from home, time to ponder.
So welcome to Hinckley, which is where the culmination of a few different DGRs happens, and I just wanted to walk outside and show you what everything looks like. So, Triumph Factory Experience Hinckley, and you can see huge amounts of people who just park their bikes up all the way along here, and ours are somewhere over there, but they've actually opened up everything. So you've got the cafe over there, you've got all of the old classic bikes on the left-hand side, and upstairs there's even a section that I haven't been to yet. So I'll go inside, flip the camera and show you what it looks like inside, but just to give you a feel of what it's like outside with all of these different DGRs popping along. We were the first ones here, so when we arrived there was almost no one else here, and you can see how much the car park has filled up since then. So right in the corner there is where the Bonneville is. People grabbing some food there. Triumph Factory Experience through here. I've been here once before, about 1.5 years ago, and it's well worth a visit. So over here you've got all of the classic bikes going along with the history on the wall on the left hand side, but you've got everything from the new rockets to the classic old Bonnevilles, I guess 1959 bikes, stuff like that, to the really old stuff coming along here. You can see there the original hooligan machine, which would be the Triumph Speed Triple, the original one. Just a really, really nice setup with headsets if you want to listen to stuff. The racing bikes over there. The Triumph Steve McQueen Special in the corner. In fact, they used to have the original Steve McQueen Triumph from the Great Escape film there, but I guess it's been sent off somewhere else for now, so it's not here at the moment. I've been told there's an upstairs section, but I've never actually seen it, so I'll see if I can find it. James Bond bikes there. Bond bike, Steve McQueen Special Edition there, thanks. And then this is the bit I've never been up to. You know, I was just about to film in here, but I think this will be a no film area, so I'll cut the filming there. I'll give you a quick demonstration and a showing of the kind of bikes that turn up here. It's definitely not just all Triumphs. So you've got an old Suzuki GS 500, beautiful bobber there. Bonneville, of course. I mean, just gigantic amounts of bobbers, or Bonnevilles, bobbers, Yamaha's Indian Scout. Rocket there, which looks incredible. Old Tiger, great to see that. Then, of course, more Bonnevilles. Classic 350s. It's just Triumph after Triumph, actually, here. An old XJR. Have a look at this. I think these are two of the, if I'm right in thinking, Thornton 100 modified bobbers. That would be my guess. And then a classic Kawasaki Z750, or 650 I should say. And have a look at this. Everyone just chilling out, enjoying the sun. Honda monkey bike heading off there. Beautiful old Bonneville with a bike I know. A bike that is so smooth you can put a £1 coin on the engine, start it up, and the coin won't move. Royal Enfield Classic 500, Triumph Rocket, BMW R18, and have a look at this. Gives you a really good vantage point. So you've got a little refreshment stand there with a queue. Tell you what, they could have about 5 extra stands. It's so warm today because everywhere is packed, food and drink wise. Gigantic BMWs. You can see most people have come fairly dapper. Let me just do a little bit over here to show you. You've got a tiny little CG 125, Royal Enfield Classic 350 coming around. You got the new Scrambler, which looks very good. Old Triumph Speedmaster, and we've got a Royal Enfield over there in that beautiful green colour with a little Piaggio. And have a look at that. Glorious. Two really interesting bikes side by side, so I had to film these. This is and apologies for the pronunciation, Deniper. This was, if I can just pan over, owned by Richard, and he bought it off a lady who won it in a competition.
Yeah, back 3-0.
Backstreet Heroes magazine. What year is it?
It was 1992 she won it.
And the year of the bike?
It is a 1992.
It's a
Yeah, it was brand new in 92.
1992 bike. It's the kind of bike that you'd have a sidecar on. So this is the reverse gear lever. You can see, I mean, this is completely unrestored. It's a Ukrainian bike and it is as agricultural as you could ever imagine. Look at this. It's just not been touched. The seat's right there. Look at the patina on the side of it with the shock. I mean, I initially thought this was a BMW, but of course, when you look, the eagle eye, you can tell. But I love this little bit here. You can just see in there, made in the USSR. But it's even got an almost weirdly, like, ornate front mudguard with that little light on the front. But I mean, if we're talking about showroom condition, no, forget it. But this has definitely a little bit of charm. And the one behind it, I did a double take here, love these bikes. R18, but with a difference here, and the difference being, this has been repainted, complete paint job, in the colour of that BMW from the Pierce Brosnan James Bond film. The exact bike name, maybe the R5, I think it is. But the gentleman over here has painted it in that colour, and I think it looks incredible in this cream paintwork. It's got the BMW panniers, and it also has the triple lights at the front. Have a look at that, I love it. That Harley Davidson over there, two of them parked next to each other, and they are getting quite a lot of attention. They look brilliant. I'll do a couple more over here as well. You've got a proper Overlander style Ducati with some more Royal Enfields. And a Harley Davidson has just pulled up there, but I love the interest. It's fascinating, the different kinds of bikes. This is another bike of interest. So, Sidekick Solo YouTube channel. Darren owns the bike. A couple of days before, he was heading off to Morocco on this bike. And there's the man himself. He had an issue with the gearbox, so he ended up buying a gearbox near Joe, and they ended up fitting it.
Well, there was a long list of things we did beforehand. Of resealing it. So we put new seals in it, new clutch. Then the gearbox wouldn't reseal, the seals wouldn't sit right, so I actually ended up buying another gearbox which was just down the road from Joe. Joe picked it up for me. So literally the plan was to get everything done in advance, and it came down to literally 2 days before I was still putting it back together. And then when I rode it down, did the Euro tunnel, got off of there, rode it all the way through France, through Spain in 2.5 days. Got to France on the first stop, and it was leaking oil everywhere. So I rode it all the way there and all the way back with quite serious oil leaks, which it still got. So we got all the way down to Sahara, turned around and came back.
How many miles in total?
It actually broke down on the way back, so I did just shy of 4,000 miles.
And the total mileage on it now?
Is 95,000 miles. So on the way back, I was in Spain, and the final drive bearing packed up. And I ended up actually leaving it in Spain. I had to fly back, and somebody brought it back for me in the end.
In a trailer?
Yeah.
I've got to add this one in because I think I'm going to have to stop complaining about bikes like the Commander and the lack of comfort, because the gentleman over there who owns this bike next week is heading off to Switzerland. I'm not joking. On this bike from England to Switzerland, BMW K75. He's done all of the modifications himself. You can even see anti-blocker system, but everything done himself. I have no idea where all the luggage is going to go, anything like that, because it is as stripped back as you can imagine. But mile munching on that will take me a little while to process in my mind. Cool bike though, especially with those bar end mirrors. And it's got that beautiful, like, slightly ratty patina look to it. Good luck to him.
Built an electric bike bike which run an electric bike at the end and they turn around and
Yeah, the one that like is
There's no point in delaying what we both
Ray Elgar and then Cathy. That's an event you should do. Cathy to buy 92.
I've heard of this.
You should go. We've had 10,000 bikes there in the past.
No one would know, would they? That is the biggest sleeper bike.
yeah.
Give me a wave because I want to include that Honda Fireblade story in the video. So give me a wave, give me a wave. Have a good one, you two. Bye, mate. Cleaning, respecting the bike. This will now be at least a weekly occurrence. And have a look at this. Centre stand. This is something I've wanted on my bike ever since I got rid of my Suzuki Bandit. It's something I've really missed. It's the single best way to do maintenance on your bike if you live in an apartment and can't really have a big centre stand. And if you're on a big trip, let's say to Morocco or Turkey or something like that, and you get a puncture, it's really difficult taking a wheel off your bike if you don't have a centre stand. Obviously, I don't talk from experience. It's never happened to me. But if it did happen, centre stand is so important. Anyway, I'll get to all of the stuff that's been done on the bike because there's a big list of it, and I'll do that in a fresh video. Harley Davidson, I bet that's Paul, the neighbour. I'll do a whole video on the bike, to the best of my knowledge, what's been done on it. But that first 3-hour ride back from Tamworth a couple of days ago, and I'm filming now because the temperature dropped off quickly. And I wanted to get back as quickly as possible because I think it was about 9:45 by the time I got back at the end of the DGR. But those 3 hours back, what Joe's done to the bike is phenomenal. He's turned a 14-year-old bike into a bike that, if I were given it as a press bike, I would... Well done, Paul, well done. I would think this is an excellent brand new bike. It's faster, the power is as smooth as silk. It's now the smoothest riding bike I've ever experienced. Getting on the throttle, I've never experienced anything smoother from any bike of any age. It handles perfectly, it changes gear exquisitely. It's like he's gone through every little bit of the bike with the finest tooth comb to make sure every element of the bike is running at its absolute optimum. It's a revelation, I really mean it. It's very hard to put into words, but just imagine the sweetest riding bike you've ever experienced. It is that good. And also a special thank you to Chris at Ultimate Twin Performance. I'll put his logo here somewhere and all of his details in the written description, because he provided the engine upgrades to increase the horsepower by about 10 and somehow make it smoother, and also on top of that, make it more economical. I don't know how that works, but I do know that what Chris provides from Ultimate Twin Performance is incredible. And what Joe's done to the bike is a revelation. He's a magician. And finally, Neil, who cleaned the bike. He spent 8 hours detailing this bike, ceramic coating it to make it look showroom fresh. And I must respect Neil by making sure that I uphold my side of the bargain, keep the bike clean. But overall, the feeling of having the bike back, it's indescribable. It's a bike for life. I just can't imagine ever loving a bike as much as I love this. I keep looking back at it and realizing how incredibly lucky I am. So thank you so much to Joe from the works, Emily as well, who did so much work, Chris from Ultimate Twin Performance, Neil for cleaning it, and all of you for coming out to see the unveiling and for coming over and be kind enough to have a chat. I hugely appreciate it. Lottery winner. Thank you all. Have a brilliant day.